One day while exploring the forest south of Vault 76, we find an abandoned picnic area and a boardwalk next to a small river and lake. The tables are covered in cutlery, a lunchbox, some minor food, a recipe book, and... maybe that was another player. Yeah. Wait, what? That came from the opposite direction, towards the lake. Moving that way, we don't see anyone. Heading down towards the lake. What? It comes from a completely different direction. This time slightly fainter. Running that way, we see an outhouse. Nothing inside. Oh! A ghoul, but could a ghoul have made that noise? Moving east, we arrive at the Alpine River cabins. On the foot trail that leads to the cabins, we find a check-in kiosk, and on it, the Alpine River Cabins guest book. April 17th, Brendan and Laurie Aaronholt, perfect place to relax for the weekend, will be back again soon. May 3rd, the Jefferson family. The kids loved swimming in the pond and spotting the local deer. Visitors must feed them often. They are everywhere. May 21st, James, Blake, Allison, and Stephanie. Boring. There's nothing to do around here. Won't be coming back. September 15th, the Taylors. Overall, very peaceful location. We heard some weird noises the first night, assumed it was just some teens messing around. Yeah, must be the teens. August 5th, Jackson and Beverly Hart. Creepy noises. Bears roaming around too close at night, and I swear the pictures on the walls were changing positions. Will not be visiting again. Okay. At this point, it may be wise to leave, but curiosity is getting the better of me. They were right about the noises, but were they right about the rest? Were there bears stomping around? After killing the ghouls, we hear it again. Sounds almost like it's coming from inside this cabin. Heading around to the front, we open the door, and we see the bear. Huh? Just a ghoul. Well, maybe there were bears around here if we find a rug on the ground. In this one, we find 6 bunk beds. Wow, a lot of people cramped in one of these cabins. And just as we're about to listen to a holotape... What's that? What? Oh, it's still going. What was that? Earthquake? Bears? The holotape on the table is the Alpine River Cabins complaint.
Hi, this is Gabe Ramses, and I'm leaving this message to inform the Parks and Rec Department of the horrible experience my family and I had this week at the Alpine River Cabins. Look, we were all looking forward to a nice weekend getaway in the wilderness, but between the constant shaking in the cabins, rodent swarms, and blood-curdling screams, well, I'm more stressed than I was before. My boys were so upset they swore they saw the picture frames spinning on the walls. My tax dollars pay your salaries, so I demand recompense, or you can bet I'll do my darndest to make sure that money is in someone else's pocket next election. And one more thing. Maybe you could get off your lazy butts and pick up some garbage here. This place is filthy. I know all the recent hubbub about atomic war, but that doesn't mean the place has to look like it was just hit with a nuclear bomb!
Tell me you saw that too? Okay. And did that door close on its own? Oh, something fishy going on here. Inspecting the frame closer doesn't look out of normal. Oh, we need to go. Oh, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here now, but this is also such a mystery. A mystery we've got to solve. Heading out and inspecting the side, we can see if we can find any motors or something. the screaming keeps going. Okay, turning around. We've got a couple more cabins here. Let's move to the southern cabin next as we get closer to the door. Man, yeah, I can see why the guy made the complaint. How could you get any sleep here? Heading inside, we see a similar scene. Bear rug on the ground. Lots of bunks. We can loot a first aid kit by the door, a cooler on the nearby table, and we can sometimes find a bobblehead beneath one of the bunks in this cabin, but it was gone when I explored it. Oh, that was a nasty blood-curdling one. That came from the southeast. Are you gonna move? No? Okay. As we're about to leave, we find a footlocker on the ground, and that's it. Ah! It did move! All right, I'm not imagining it. That picture frame moved, but I don't see it. Ah, there's another one! Okay, we gotta figure this out. Heading out of this one, we can go around. But again, our inspection picks up nothing, though we do see a ruined tent and a cooler by the river that we missed earlier. Back at the cabin, we finish going around it. We pass a clothesline, but we don't see anything out of the ordinary. Checking the next cabin to the southeast, we find another similar scene. Tables and more scrap, but in the southwest corner, a holotape on top of a box safe. Rita, the fire breather.
Hey, Rita. So, right now, you're asleep, enjoying your last peaceful night's rest for God knows how long. And I thought I'd record something for you to remember me by while you're locked away inside Charleston Fire Department. Training for the prestigious opportunity to dive face first into a bunch of mine fires with the rest of those fire breather nut jobs. Honestly, though, ain't no responder alive who's a better pick for that crew than you. Just make sure you don't forget the basics with all this fancy new training. Always check your seals, hit stop, drop, then roll. The order's important. And most important, don't come back all crispy. Because I love what I'm looking at right now.
Rita must have been a member of the Responders, training for the Responders' elite fighting force, the Fire Breathers. In fact, while completing the primary quest, we discover the corpse of Rita inside the burning mine, Belching Betty. We hear her voice on a series of holotapes in Belching Betty and learn that she died heroically. We can only hope that if Buck ever learned of that, it made him proud. But we'll have to cover the story of Rita's end when we cover the Responders and the primary plot of the game. For now, we have another mystery to uncover. What is going on at Alpine River Cabins? We have one final cabin to explore, the one to the northeast. Inside, we find the place a wreck. Stop it, please. There's a first aid kit on the wall, a ranger hat on the ground, and one of the bunk beds is completely toppled over. But this one doesn't have any lore. The doors are closing behind me now. Okay, great. Well, let's just get on out of here. How about that? Perhaps some mysteries are not meant to be solved. As we're about to leave, however, we notice wires above us connecting to each cabin. From this one to that one to a pole on the outskirts, and the wires continue off into the hills from pole to pole. At the end, we find some speakers at the end of poles hiding in the trees. So this is where all those screams are coming from. They're recordings. But why would they still be playing all these years later? And why would they be playing these screams to begin with? But this can't explain the pictures or the shaking. Inspecting another wire trail, we see that it too leads to another speaker. But then we find a footpath leading southwest up the hill. And here we find a treehouse. We can climb a ladder into the treehouse. We find a footlocker. A magazine is supposed to spawn on the round table up here. It had been looted when I arrived. And on a table nearby is a terminal. What would you like to do? Lure creatures. This terminal can lure creatures? When we select it, we hear some sort of animal call off in the distance. And as soon as the call finishes, we see movement on the ground. Another ghoul. And more out the other window. So this explains the note we read about the rats scurrying around and all the deer they found here, not to mention the bears. Someone was using calls to lure animals, but 25 years later, it lures ghouls instead. Back inside the terminal, we find an option to stop the automated sequence. Stopping automated sequence. With the sequence stopped, we find a bunch of new options. Refreshing the status simply refreshes this menu to accurately show us the state of the park. If we choose play sound, it starts playing the horrifying screaming. We can activate the rotate pictures function, and apparently it continues to run. It's an automated feature. From here, we can also lure creatures, which we could outside this menu, and beneath this, simulate an earthquake. And finally, close the cabin doors. At the end, we find an option to run the automated sequence, which I think cycles through all of these options randomly. So from this terminal, we can control each of them individually, or let the entire sequence run automatically. I can imagine some crafty players using this terminal as a way to really freak out their friends. But stumbling upon this place with the sequence automatically running is creepy enough. Whew, well, that mystery is solved. It's not haunted. They weren't real voices. All of it was simulated. But I walk away wondering how these guys could simulate an earthquake. Are there machines underneath each of these huts? But even when standing outside, we feel the ground shake. That's some impressive technology installed here, just for a little prank. You also have to wonder exactly why this was set up. Presumably the people who own this cabin wanted to make a little bit of money. But as we heard from the holotape, these pranks just turned people off. Though some people said they had a wonderful time, while others didn't. Maybe the cabin owners only used this to torment their worst customers. The customers who were rude to them. The customers who deserved it. Though I suppose there is a market for people who want to stay the night at a haunted campsite. Maybe that was their ultimate motivation. At any rate, we walk away having solved the mystery of Alpine River Cabins. Did you stumble upon this place during your gameplay? Did it freak you out? And did you discover that it was all an elaborate hoax? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I publish many Fallout videos each and every week here on my channel, so if you don't want to miss my next episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have and you find that you're still not getting my notifications, consider following me on Twitter. I manually update Twitter with every new piece of content that I publish. I have a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. They come on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with more brand new videos.